So we talked about this last week when we saw the original Deluxe class Airazor figures, that there was some stuff chilling in the background. And these images came from Weibo and the Chinese message boards, and it was just a matter of time before the rest of the stuff found in that background from the factory was going to be cracked open and photography done by the same individual here. That day is today. We have 2 items today. Both of them, oddly enough, do not have listings currently in the Walmart or Target computers, which leads me to believe that these could be Wave 2 items. Don't quote me on that, but it's kind of bizarre that both of these do not have listings currently. But at the same time, which also makes me question things, we should have some kind of Voyagers at some point in the Studio Series line, and we have one here today. So something's got to show up in the computer sooner or later. So just stay tuned for that in the future, because I'm really curious where these guys fall in terms of the listings. Anyways, we got 2 of them today. We got a Transformers Studio Series, Voyager class, Rise of the Beast, Battletrap, and I want to give a warning a bit in advance here. Might be falling into movie spoiler territory. So just a warning in advance when I start talking about the Airazor segment, maybe you might want to tune out. But we also have a Deluxe class Airazor here, which I'm going to save my talk for the second half of this. Again, warning, spoilers in advance, potentially from what I've been told. So, what's happening here? Well, first we got our Voyager class Battletrap, our first look at a TerrorCon figure. We've seen the alt mode from all the various Peru shooting locations of this character. We finally get a good shot of the truck mode and how nice it looks. Has Bernie written on the side, possibly a nod maybe to the late great Bernie Mac that was featured in the first movie as Bobby Bolivia. Maybe in some roundabout weird continuity way, this is one of the tow trucks that Bobby uses to pick up beat up cars and then sell them at rip-off prices. So who knows? Or maybe it's just a nod to Bernie Mac. What's really cool about it has the wrecking ball on the back, so it's not just picking up cars, it's also destroying them with a nice little wrecking ball. Could be also added to the robot mode in a very bulkhead kind of style. And speaking of that robot mode, which is the most important thing, because this is the new thing that we're seeing of this character, it looks really cool. It looks really nice, the robot mode. I really dig all the spikes on it. Again, really that TerrorCon kind of look where it's like the spikes on the arms, the spikes on the back. It has the spikes on the kneecaps. It has like the V-fin on his forehead, and then it kind of also adds that kind of angular kind of look to it. The head sculpt a little bit invoking that original G1 Battletrap, but that could also be just kind of me looking for coincidences, if anything. I'm pretty sure at some point we'll probably get a blue repaint out of this, just to really hammer it home at some point, some kind of buzzworthy Bumblebee blue repaint, G1 Battletrap colors. But he looks really cool. I dig him a lot. I think he looks really nice. I dig all the fine details on him. And I'm pretty sure we're going to see a lot more of the TerrorCons in the near future. But this is our very first one. And I don't know if this is a Wave 1 assortment thing, because we've yet to have a listing for Battletrap, even in the code names. So very bizarre, this one. And not much really more I could say outside of that. But we got a lot of cool angles. A lot of cool images that we could see from every angle, and it's a very nice looking figure and a nice size too. Now let's get into the spoiler territory. And the reason why I'm saying spoiler, because we saw a Airazor figure just last week. Deluxe class, listed under the Titan. Titan is Airazor's trade code name for these. Studio Series, everything like that, VM7. And now we have this one. Now, the only explanation that I could give for this is in the movie, Airazor has a bad situation happen to her. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want to spoil too much. So I don't know if this redesign is in relation to that, because when you actually look at the Hawk mode of this one here, it matches more what we saw on the mug. I don't know if the chicken came before the egg. Which one came first? Is this one going to be her standard mode, and what we're seeing is something else in relation to what's going to happen to her later in the movie? I do not know. There's a lot of weird stuff that I was told that makes me wonder what's going to happen with that. So that's why, like, we have these two very conflicting designs. And right now, from what we've seen from the control art on the mug, it matches more, at least in the case of the eagle or hawk mode, in this case, to condor, whatever you want to call it. It matches more with this figure that we have here today than the one we talked about last week. Also, this one here actually has a tampo of a Maximal logo on it, while the other one potentially had a rub sign for something. So again, don't want to go too deep into it, but there's a lot of funky stuff that happens with that character in this movie. So there's just that kind of stuff going on. But I think it looks really cool. This one here, it has more like the wrist blasters, kind of like the Kingdom version or the traditional Airazor. But it is a different sculpt completely. It's not just a slight retool. We have some side-by-sides we'll throw up right here and everything. And then a side-by-side next to the Kingdom Airazor, just to show that it's a brand new mold from the ground up. A lot of bird ladies happening in 2023 and Kingdom before that. So very interesting. I really like what I see here. This is a lot of really cool stuff. And I'm telling you guys, that's not the end of this little box of stuff that we're going to be seeing. Maybe tomorrow, maybe 2 days from now, maybe this weekend, we're going to see a lot more Rise of the Beast product. This stuff is going to be starting to show up in very big numbers, because now the factories have it. They've shipped stuff out, and a lot of the stolen products end up in the hands of other individuals. So stuff is going to be popping up left, right, and center. So stay tuned for that. You know, when the genie's out of the bottle, there's not much we could do but report it, because, again, these images were kicking around over the past couple of days already on the Chinese message boards, and it's just a matter of time before it ends up on some of the Facebook groups. I believe Sonic Bomber Corps was one of the first ones to post it, if I remember correctly. So, you know, it's just a matter of time before these kind of end up everywhere, and then we end up talking about it. So let me know what you think, guys. A lot of interesting stuff going on here in terms of engineering and design. Even me, I'm a little confused by it, because I knew the fate of the character from a narrative standpoint, but I didn't know that there was a design switch that happens with it. So we'll see what happens with that. But let me know what you think. Let me know if you're hyped about Rise of the Beast. And we still got a lot more to talk about as these weeks progress, because now's the time, and a lot of products going to be coming out.